Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back in the Madden 22 rebuild. In today's episode, we're going to be rebuilding the Chicago Bears. I believe they're my second rebuild going into Madden 22, but I haven't done a rebuild since on the Bears since September, I believe. So I'm going to try to go through every single team because rebuilds are just the best in most of my subscribers' opinions. Like button really says so. Speaking of the like button, you guys should like. Anyways, looking into it. So, my analysis on Justin Fields, his rookie year. I watched a total, I know this isn't like a full analysis, blah, blah, blah. I know there's a bunch of Bears fans watching this. I watched 6 games of him, and I was not impressed. So for those of you guys saying, oh, well, you don't know anything about Justin Fields, not impressed does not mean he's bad. I'm not going to lie, going into the year, I thought Mac Jones and Justin Fields were going to be the two bust of the class. I was clearly wrong about Mac Jones. Justin Fields, I don't know about quite yet. Everyone's saying it's the coaching. Everyone's saying the coach is the problem. I think going into the draft, he was a bust. He didn't look horrible this year. I was just underwhelmed with the amount of hype that was going into the draft. So Justin Fields, I'm not saying he's a bust right now. Right now, he's not. Going into the draft, that was just my prediction. Everyone has their bust prediction going into the draft. Regardless if you're a Bears fan, whether you like it or not, that was just my personal opinion. So, whenever I watched him, I just saw he would either throw an absolute dime and it would be perfectly between the defenders or it'd just be completely overthrown. There was zero consistency with him. It was just up or down. That was what I saw from him mainly. He was up or down. So he did have his shining moments, but there's a lot of things he needs to work on. He's a rookie quarterback. I'm not going to give him total shit for it. I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, he's already a bust. No, he has a lot to work on. He kind of reminds me of a Josh Allen type of rookie quarterback. Josh Allen had horrible throwing mechanics in his rookie year, and as soon as he reworked them, accurate, super amazing, super just everything off the charts with Josh Allen. So it may take him a couple years. Everyone's saying it's the coaching. I don't think it's just the coaching. I think Justin Fields needs to work on it himself. Those of you guys saying, oh, his O-line is terrible. Tevin Jenkins isn't bad. James Daniels, Cody Whitehair, Jason Peters isn't even bad than himself. There's a lot worse O-lines in the NFL. Take Joe Burrow, for instance. Dude has probably the worst O-line in the NFL, and he's a Super Bowl QB. Obviously, don't compare Justin Fields to, the Bengals with their coaching system, but I'm just saying. Anyways, off topic. Let's get back to what I was trying to say. We got this offensive line here, very good. Jason Peters, obviously, is not going to be here long term, but in terms of very good, I mean very good in terms of youth with Cody Whitehair, who's only 28, 29 now, so that might not be here long term. But James Daniels, Tevin Jenkins, this is a better start than most. Most offensive lines I have to rebuild, just completely have to gut the entire offensive line because they're super old and then rebuild them. So for Madden, this is not a bad offensive line. Cole Kmet, I have something to work with there. Jimmy Graham is not going to be a long-term future. Darnell Mooney, here's something for Bears fans to smile at after I just said Justin Fields wasn't that good. I like Darnell Mooney. Allen Robinson, I don't think is going to be here in the next season, so I'm not going to keep him on the team. I'm not going to trade him, but I don't think he's going to be on the team. They franchise tagged him. I just don't see him being on the Bears, so I think it's realistic to not keep him. Marquise Goodwin is here. Darnell Mooney is probably more of a slot player more than anything. Way too much depth here at running back. Tariq Cohen, Damian Williams, I think it is. Yes, it is. And Dave Montgomery, I do like. I do like my boy Monty. He's very nice. Probably one of the most underrated running backs in the NFL. Obviously, Khalil Mack, Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith is so good. He needs to be talked about a lot more. Robert Quinn is great as well. I know he had a very good year this year. He should probably have start Ev. But in Madden, 31 years old, this dude's not worth anything. Unfortunately, that's just how it goes. Eddie Jackson's pretty solid. Jalen Johnson, Nichols, Eddie Goldman, Akeem Hicks. This D-line right here at Goldman, Hicks, Robert Quinn, Trevathan, it's just, and Gibson here, it's just not going to last. Artie Burns, oh my gosh, forgot this guy existed. Wasn't he a first-round pick for the Steelers, like a late first-rounder? Yeah, pick 25 in 2016. Oh, forgot about that guy. Interesting. Yeah. So anyways, guys, apart from that, I've removed Colin Kaepernick and Tom Brady from the game. I think we're not going to have an amazing year this year in the first season, but let's get to it. Let's get to the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 2-5. Kind of how I expected this team to play. Offense still needs a lot of work. The defense is great. The defense can hold a lot of points. Like in the Bucs game, you see 23-10. I mean, they don't have Tom Brady, but offense is obviously the problem with this team. We look at the overall ranks at the bottom of the screen here. Yeah, our entire team is just terrible. I don't know what's up with the defense. Why is our defense playing so bad? That makes no sense. I hate that. Hate that a lot. Keep auto-generated rookies. Let's see what we got here. We got left tackles, top of the board. I like that. Both out of Oregon. Interesting. Wide receiver out of Georgia. Oklahoma State defensive tackle. I might move into a different scheme here. Scout college players. Not scout college players. Players ready to negotiate. Allen Robinson is not going to be here. I know that. So let's look at the negotiations here. Akeem Hicks, I can't have him. In real life, I'm sure he'll probably get a 2-year deal. I'm just not going to pay you $12 million a year for 2 years, and you're going to be an 83 overall by the end of the season. Allen Robinson, number 1, is going to regress. Number 2, will not make it to an 85 overall by the end of this rebuild. Number 3, he's not going to be re-signed by the Bears in real life, in my personal opinion. James Daniels, necessary, very necessary, cheap deal. Spread this out, up the money, $6 million a year, like that. Nichols, do like a lot. Even if he's a rotational player, I'd gladly pay him. He's a little high for his overall in terms of money. Gibson, no. Damian Williams, no. Jason Peters, no. Jakeem Grant, I'm surprised this dude made a Pro Bowl this year, but he's here. And Andy Dalton, I forgot existed. Everyone else here is just a no. I don't want anyone else here. I think I'm good on negotiations. So anyways, guys, it's time to move into the playoffs. And here we are in the offseason one, the playoffs, and then making the playoffs. Our team is just all in the red, including the defense. Our pass per game, how's our defensive rush per game 31st? Our points per game is 32nd. Like, I don't know what our defense should be way better than this. 6-11, I wish we had lost to the Vikings, so that way we would be 3rd in the division, have a better draft pick. Let's look at the stats and words here. And I'm in the Chiefs playbook, and this is the stats you give me. 30th best offense, worst defense in the NFL. I'm sorry, but in the Chiefs playbook, anyone should be able to succeed. 3,900 yards, 30 TDs, 14 receptions. Not impressive, just all right. Dave Montgomery, 12 TDs, 1,100 yards, 4.6 per carry is a very good average, and only 244 carries. Very good year for Dave Montgomery. Marquise Goodwin, 1,000 yards, 4 TDs. Allen Robinson, 9 TDs. Cole Kmet, 8. Darnell Mooney. Would have liked to see more production from him. Defensively, Roquan Smith, 130 tackles. Gibson with 107. Duke Snelly, okay, 102. Tackles for a loss, 20 for Akeem Hicks. Sacks, 11.5 for Khalil Mack, 7 for Nichols. Interceptions, 3 for Roquan Smith. Safeties, 1 for Khalil Mack. Defensive touchdowns, 0. I had the Chiefs' offensive playbook, then I chose Dallas's defensive playbook because they always make the Super Bowl. Guess that doesn't work. Let's move to the offseason. Here we are in the offseason as the Chiefs beat the Packers in the Super Bowl. Tyrann Mathieu wins Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes wins League MVP. Mike McCarthy wins Coach of the Year. Mahomes also wins Offensive Player of the Year. And there are no other awards here. In this universe, it looks like Trevor Lawrence wins Rookie of the Year. Scout College Players, no. Roster, let's see if there is any development upgrades. Probably not. This team did terrible this year. Yeah, just none on offense. Tevin Jenkins only has star dev is what I expected. I liked him in the draft. I wanted him to be a Raven. Doesn't happen. Everyone else here is a no. What did I say? Akeem Hicks would be an 83 overall, and he is. So I'm going to move this to the Rams defense and try to go for a 4-3. Kansas City, West Coast spread. Let's go vertical zone run. And then let's go 4-3 quarters. I usually do a 4-3 cover 3. 4-6 usually doesn't end up that well. I'll try base 4-3. I'll try just the base. And defensively, that's what we're looking like now. I'm going to move Khalil Mack down to left end. I feel like that would just be better since he's an edge rusher. And let's just move him down there. Left end he goes. He's an edge rusher anyway, so he's fine there. It goes from a 94 to a 92. That's fine. And yeah, I think that just looks a lot better for the team overall. So it's time to move into the re-signing of players. I think I already re-signed everybody I wanted to at the mid-season mark. So I think I should be fine here. And I'm also going to be doing a Jets rebuild after this rebuild. I skipped to a Bears rebuild because one of my subscribers wanted me to do the Bears beforehand. We were in the NFC. I'm pretty sure it's the North. Yeah. NFC North. And we got no other things yet. NFC North. Nothing else we need to do here. Negotiations I need to look into really quickly. There's no retirements for the NFC North. Akeem Hicks, no. Robinson, no. Williams, no. Everyone else here is just no. I should probably give Marquise Goodwin a contract, but he's older, so I can't really take him. $65 million to spend in free agency. Let's get into it. So we got screwed in free agency. I know Marcus Williams isn't bad. I'm happy with his signing, but I went after Devontae Adams and offered by far the most money because he was one of the most realistic options going to the Bears, and he just rejected me. Where did he go? To the Dolphins. I had far more money put into him than the Dolphins. He just said no. I also put in money into Odell, and the Dolphins also took him as well. So upset. The Dolphins have Devontae Adams, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Parker, Odell Beckham, Mike Gesicki. My gosh, Tua's loaded. Let's get to the draft. Hopefully we can just draft a receiver. Here we are in the second round, picking up a left guard, 86 strength. Probably, I would say he's a decent overall, probably like a 70 overall, I would say. So we're upgrading the offensive line for Justin Fields, which is a big thing. So I needed that. It's just, this is a second round pick. Keep in mind, I don't get a first round pick because the Bears gave it up last season to trade up in the draft for Justin Fields. So that is very unfortunate, but at least we're getting Justin Fields some protection. So I guess I'll just have to rock with some free agent wide receivers. There's a lot here that's scouted. How much did we have scouted on? Probably 80% or something, but very good. So this is the team after the draft, and Stevens is actually a 73 overall. That's like a first round pick talent. It's because he has 85 run block finesse and he has good lead block and impact blocking. Very fast in acceleration, 99 injury, nice. 86 strength is just what threw me off. That's going to be an amazing piece for Justin Fields long term. Gonna need some more receivers because Carl Pickens, probably a 5th round pick, I'm assuming, because I didn't get a 4th. Where is it? Awards. Pick in the 5th round, yep. Pickens, I don't think is going to do it, but I'll put him in the slot. I guess he's just not going to be there, whatever. Tariq Cohen. Marcus Williams, I don't want playing middle linebacker. And Nichols, actually, I need to move Marcus Williams over to strong safety is what I intend to do in the first place. 6'1", 195 is a little small for it. But, yeah, he'll be fine. That's fine there. Let's move him over to strong safety here. That'd just be better for us long term. Now let's refresh the roster so that way he's not at a backup linebacker spot. I feel like that would just be better. And he's not there. Calhoun is going to be a second string. Robert Quinn is still going to be coming off the edge. Eddie Goldman, how much money do you take on this team? Quite a bit, I think. No, we're not going to set you as captain. $11 million for a 76 overall. I kind of want to trade that like immediately. I don't want him on my team. I mean, he's the best defensive tackle we have. So after this team, he's probably going to be gone. Yeah, let's pick up some free agent defensive backs. And let's pick up some free agent receivers because that's probably what we're going to need. Chris Harris is going to be on the team. And Kareem Jackson, AJ Boye. AJ Boye I'll put on the team as well. What is this? I'm not going to... Should I sign Dante? I'll be fine with Dante for a year. I'll be cool with Dante. And let's move over and make sure the CPU just doesn't cut any of these guys. So we go to league settings. And then you set it to... I believe a 70 overall player restrictions. Yeah, I believe that's what it is. Let me check that again. You can't cut anyone that's a 70 or above, I believe. Cutting with overalls above this number. 75 overall. Let's go with that. Yeah, I'd be fine with that. And yeah. So, yeah, that should be all good. Anyways, guys, apart from that, it's time to move to the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 3-4, third in the division, coming off a loss to the Commanders, as we have some players ready to negotiate here. We have Roquan Smith. Of course, we need him back. Without him, our defense will probably crumble. And he resigns. David Montgomery is a player I need to keep back as well, especially after that last season. 4.6 per carry was a great season for him. No. Glad to see the CPU didn't cut any of these guys because usually with older players, they're just going to straight up cut them. Is Nick Foles' contract still massive or did they renegotiate this? It's still pretty big for a second string QB, but I'll leave him here for now, which I'm okay with. Everyone else there I just don't want. So apart from that, guys, I'd say it's not time to move to the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, not making the playoffs, coming off a 35-7 loss against the Cowboys. You know what? Our offense is improving, but we might want to switch to a running game. 8 and 9, just yikes, dude. Justin Fields had a better year, but 27 TDs, 27th offense. You're in the Kansas City's playbook. This defense, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do about that. 20 interceptions? This, such a bust. You're in the Kansas City playbook. Kansas City playbook is so pass-heavy dominant that I've seen almost any QB succeed. Almost any QB succeed. Dave Montgomery, 13 TDs, 1,100 yards, barely enough carries. He had, I think, 20 more than last season, 4.4 average. Yeah, Dave Montgomery's getting the reps. John Villa Johnson. I'm sorry, your first name is John and your last name is Johnson. We have another John Johnson in the end. It's so stupid of a name. Like the Browns' strong safety, John Johnson. It's not just John Johnson, it's John Johnson III. So 3 generations of people didn't stop to think it was a stupid name. And then now we have it John Johnson again. John Villa Johnson. My bad. Villa. Credit or debit. Darnell Mooney here. Cole Kmet. Let's look into the defense. Just whatever. 135 tackles. 115 for Marcus Williams. Tackles for a loss. 21 for Khalil Mack. Sacks 20.5 for Khalil Mack. He's wasting his potential on this team. Interceptions 2 for Roquan Smith. Safeties 0 defensive touchdowns. 1 for Eddie Jackson. Just very irritating. I'm going to switch to a running playbook immediately. You need to give Justin Fields weapons. I've seen so many people just succeed with the Kansas City's playbook with no sweat. I'm just done with them. Let's go with something else here. Let's go with more carries, but not, you know what? Sure, I'm going to go Baltimore's offense. I'm going to go Baltimore's defense as well. Let's try running this. It's just not working out. This defense should not necessarily have too much of a problem. Like Chris Harris isn't even a bad overall. 82 overall, 85 overall, 81 overall. That's not a bad secondary. Roquan Smith, like we have a great edge rusher with Khalil Mack and Roquan Smith. And I mean, Robert Quinn, Roquan Smith, Dante Hightower, pretty solid linebackers, great safeties. Nichols isn't even bad. Eddie Goldman's a solid overall. This defense should not be as bad as it is. Let's move into the offseason. And the Green Bay Packers beats the Browns in the Super Bowl as Aaron Rodgers wins the Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes wins another league MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. Khalil Mack wins Defensive Player of the Year. Wow, that's nice to see. Anyways, it's time to see and look into the offensive roster, see if there is any development upgrades. Offensively, we look the exact same. And also, where's Stevens? Why is Cody Whitehair starting over Stevens? Cody Whitehair, get back to center. Oh my, he's at left guard officially. I didn't even know he was there officially. I thought he was always at center. That's a little bit irritating. Move to center, please, where you're supposed to be. Stevens only has star depth, but this O-line is actually not bad. I don't see what Justin Fields' problem is. Oh, well, he needs weapons. Like, every single person I've ever played with in the Kansas City playbook has succeeded. Roquan Smith, Marcus Williams both get superstar dev. That is awesome to see. Chris Harris and AJ Boye on their way out. Probably going to cut Eddie Goldman after the season. Let's look at the re-sign players here to see who we have to re-sign. And I don't think I want anyone. So, yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do with Justin Fields. I might just keep him on the team, or I might just pick someone up in free agency. 2022 retirements. Let's see what we got for the NFC North. We got our punter retiring and Devin McCourty on the Lions. Whenever you go to the Lions, your career is over anyways. Let's look at the players ready to negotiate here. And AJ Boye, Chris Harris, Dante Hightower, no. Everyone there is just a no. So what do we have for free agency? $64 million. Let's get to it. So here we are after free agency. Got Jeffrey Simmons, going to move him into defensive tackle. Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to go back to the Kansas City playbook because I've used Aaron Rodgers in the Kansas City playbook before. Obviously performed tremendously. I'm not expecting an 82 overall QB Justin Fields to do amazing, but in the Kansas City playbook, I expect you to at least put up 4,000 yards, which he has not done. Marquise Brown got a weapon for Rodgers, and yes, I know. No, you're getting a weapon for Rodgers, but not for Fields. Fields had Allen Robinson for a year. Sure, Marquise Brown, 88 overall. We got Jake Bailey on a really cheap deal as well. Super happy with what I got in free agency. Now let's move to the draft. In the draft, we're picking up Cliff Hayes, a left guard. I'm going to move him to right tackle. I know it's unrealistic to go from the left side of the line to right side of the line, go from guard to right tackle. Doesn't really matter in Madden, though, so that's where I'm going to put him at. Here we are with the overlook of the team after the draft, and Hayes is only a 70 overall at right tackle. Isn't very good, but who is this guy? Is he younger? He's only 24. But he has a +2 boost. Wait, so does this... I guess I'm just going to start my rookie. It's whatever. Yeah, not a very good draft from me, I will admit that. But with Rodgers at QB, I flip back to the Kansas City playbook because I know he will actually perform in it. I'm going to move Jeffrey Simmons into defensive tackle number 1. Eddie Goldman, I guess I'll keep on the team for another year because he's here, I guess, and the cap room situation isn't necessarily a problem. So Jeffrey Simmons going to move into the defensive tackle spot. Nichols should be at my right end now, and he is. Defensive line, 98 overall. And then Pickens is going to be a slot. Gary, one of my rookies, is going to be a slot DB. And I'm not going to worry about free agents. Let's move to the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark, coming off a win to the Packers as we are 7-0. Way to get revenge against Aaron Rodgers, going to a rival. I can see this happening in real life. You're to face the 0-6 Lions. 7-0. Went from 3-4 at the midseason mark to 7-0. It's called the Aaron Rodgers effect and not having Justin Fields, a.k.a. the bust in simulation, not in real life. Don't get mad at me. All right. I'm re-signing Jalen Johnson. He re-signs. Darnell Mooney, I'm going to re-sign as well. Great. I believe he was a 6th-round pick, wasn't he? Or was he a 5th? Great pick overall, though. Cole Kmet. Of course, I want him back. Very cheap deal. My goodness. Only $4 million a year for him. Thank you. Eddie Goldman, no. Tariq Cohen, no. Travis Gibson? Interesting. I don't think so. Carlos Santos, no. Everyone else here, just a no. So I'm not going to worry about any of those other guys. So anyways, guys, it's time to move into the playoffs. Here we are at the midseason mark, actually making the playoffs. So we finished 14-3. Rodgers effect. First round bye. 24th in offensive rushing. That, like, if you see at my team ranks at the bottom of the screen, you'll see that we're green in everything. Look, our defense is top tier defense because that Ravens playbook and what I did to it in the offseason. And the rushing game, obviously, with the Kansas City Chiefs playbook, it's not going to be good. Looking into the stats and awards here, Rodgers was probably a top 5 MVP candidate. He's at number 4 here. Very good. I don't know how else to put it. 3rd best offense, best defense in the NFL. That makes a lot of sense. 4,800 yards, 43 TDs, 13 receptions. Dave Montgomery, 8 TDs, 4.4 average, still good. 1,100 yards, similar. One more carry than last season, but less TDs. I believe he had 13. Still, averaging over 4 carry every single season. He's very consistent on this team. I love him. Carl Pickens, our slot. The slot usually gets more targets. Marquise Brown, our receiver 1, has the same amount of targets, less yards, less touchdowns as well. Interesting. Well, same amount of receptions, not same amount of targets. Mooney, almost 4 yards shy from 1,000 yards, 8 TDs. Very good. Kmet's pretty solid as well. Very nice. And Dave Montgomery did pretty good out of the backfield. Very underrated. Tariq Cohen had 4 rushing TDs. Well, 4 receiving TDs. Dave Montgomery only had 2. Looking into it defensively, Calhoun, 105 tackles. Why does he have more than Roquan Smith? And tackles for a loss, 20 for Khalil Mack, 10 for Calhoun. Calhoun did very good this year. Sacks, 17 for Khalil Mack, 12.5 for Jeffrey Simmons, 9.5 for Nichols. Interceptions, 5 for Jalen Johnson. Safeties, 0 defensive touchdowns, 1 for Jalen Johnson. What did I tell you? The Rodgers effect. There you go. I know it didn't have anything to do with defense. I did the thing on defense, not Rodgers. We're going to be facing the 10-7 Washington Commanders. Let's see the Rodgers effect in the playoffs. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Please no Rodgers effect in the play. Yes, here to face the Packers. Who else? Let's go. Let's shut the Packers out of the conference championship, how they always shut themselves. They got Kirk Cousins. So, Aaron Rodgers, he went to his division rivals, the Bears. And Kirk Cousins was on the Vikings. Now he went to the division rivals, the Packers. Jeffrey Simmons got Player of the Week with 3 sacks. And Kirk Cousins got Player of the Week with the Packers. Interesting. Anyways, guys, let's get into this game against the Green Bay Packers and see if we can beat them in the conference championship. Here we are in the conference championship as it is 7-0. Kirk Cousins already got an early lead on us. Our offense just doesn't exist right now. There it is. 7-3 still. Very slow-paced game. Just punt after punt. 10-7. Past the second quarter. Wow, Kirk Cousins really getting shut out right now in the second quarter. Finally put some points on the board. 21-14. Coming down to it. 21-21. Getting to a close game. Gonna see the key moments here. Oh, third down, make the stop. No, overtime. We need a score. Let's skip this and actually, let's slow down this. Let's play slow and see what we got here. And let's go to end of the game. 3rd and 2. Thrown away. 4th and 2. We get the ball. Negative yards for Dave Montgomery. Nice rush. There we go. 3rd and 5. Is that going to be the game? What just happened? I guess we just won and threw a touchdown pass. It didn't show me what happened. Oh, looks like we threw a touchdown pass from 27 yards out. It looked like 27-21 in overtime. We're going to the Super Bowl. And here we are in the Super Bowl, here to face the 12-5 Pittsburgh Steelers. I want to see who the QB is. I'm very interested. Probably Baker Mayfield if I had to take a guess. Marcus. Yeah, EA. You're going to tell me that my team just sucks in simulation just all the time. You're going to put Marcus Mariota in the Super Bowl at 12-5. Nice, dude. Nice simulation. We're a better team than them. I know that for a fact. Let's see who we got for the upgrades. Offensively, Marquise Brown had a good year, but I don't think it's superstar worthy. Pickens got a star upgrade. That's nice to see. I really want Dave Montgomery to get superstar dev, but with his total stats overall, he's probably not going to get it. So nobody gets it other than Pickens. Jalen Johnson gets superstar. That's nice to see. I feel like Jeffrey Simmons should get X Factor now that he's in 99, but I'm not going to give it to him. Robert Quinn gets star dev. That's cool. It's not really going to matter after this season. And yeah, that's all. Okay, very little bit disappointed about him, like Jalen Johnson getting that superstar. Anyways, let's play this game against the Pittsburgh Steelers to see if we can prevent them from getting their 7th Super Bowl win. Let's get into it. Okay, in the Super Bowl against the Steelers, let's see, we got 7-0. Nice start. Okay, come on, we were in the red zone. There we go, and we scored that time 14-0. Okay, come on, do something. 14-3, 21-3. Okay, 21-3 at halftime. Nice job. 28-3. Please don't. Flashbacks of Tom Brady. 35-6. Nice job. This is going to be a blowout. 35-13. 35-13 blowout Super Bowl win. Aaron Rodgers gets back-to-back Super Bowl wins. And he'll probably be the back-to-back Super Bowl MVP. Oh, yeah. 4 touchdowns. Those 2 interceptions look a little bit ugly. 99 average. Dave Montgomery, 4.5 per carry, 1 TD, 96 yards. Najee Harris honestly had a better game than him. So I'm assuming Rodgers will get back-to-back Super Bowl MVPs. Who will also get back-to-back Super Bowl wins, but this time it's going to be with his rival. Talk about a traitor, dude. Just completely turns his back on the Packers here. Beats them in the conference championship. Packers can never get past the conference championship. And this year, they couldn't get past the divisional. You can't lose in the conference championship if you don't make it there. Khalil Mack wins Super Bowl MVP. My bad. And just, that's going to count as a successful rebuild. It's the Rodgers effect for those of you guys crying and whining that Justin Fields didn't pan out. I'm sorry. But if you give me 2 years of just crappy performances and I give you so many attempts because you're in the Chiefs playbook, I give you so many opportunities to get the ball and you just don't perform, no chance am I going to let you just keep screwing up my organization. Harrison Smith retires in the Vikings. That's going to make the division a little bit easier for us, I guess. Players ready to negotiate here. Let's see who we have. We have Eddie Goldman. No. Tariq Cohen. No. I'm pretty sure I already said no to all of these players. So how much money do we have? We have $16 million. That's honestly not enough to get like an elite player. So I'm just going to skip to the draft. In the draft, I'm picking up this guy at pick 32, Nick Linton. Hidden dev, 88 strength, looks pretty solid. B block shedding, A play rec, B power moves, B stamina. I think drafting the defensive tackles is probably one of the easiest things in this game. And I like it. He's going to be a replacement for Eddie Goldman. So anyways, guys, this is going to be the 4th and final look of the overlook of the team before we get into our final season here. And we've already made it a successful rebuild. Linton's a 74 overall. Great pickup by me, in my opinion. Nice job. DBs could use some work, but I'm really happy with this team. I'm surprised our defense was number 1. Usually it's so hard to get good defensive playbook. So now I know base 4-3 in the Ravens playbook works pretty well. So let's move to the playoffs, actually, not the midseason mark, because it's the final season. And here we are in the playoffs going 8-9. Missing the playoffs, coming off a blowout win to the Vikings. Simulation just fascinates me. How is our offensive points per game 24th whenever we just put up 38 against the Vikings? What? Can I look at my schedule? So we put up 17, then 15, then 21, then 28. No, it looks like we put up, yeah, we lost, so we put up 28. Then we put up 19. Then we put up 35, 21, 31. So it looks like we only do well against the Vikings and the Texans. 28-0 win against the Packers. Our defense is dominant. It's a top 3 defense, apparently. I mean, it's still a successful rebuild, but we went to the playoffs once. Why does he only have 29 touchdowns? 23rd best offense, top 5 defense. Okay. Interesting. 24th in points scored and points allowed, 3rd. Great defense, just horrible offense. 4,200 yards, 2019, 20 interceptions, so bad. He was basically like Justin Fields this season. Terrible. Monty had 5.5 per carry, 10 TDs, 1,200 yards. I should have allowed him this season. And only 29 carries. You usually have 265. And wow, what stats, dude. Monty's great. Marquise Brown only put up 2 touchdowns. Carl Pickens, probably the best receiver on the team. Slot usually gets the best stats. Roquan, 144 tackles for a loss, 20 for Khalil Mack and 20 for Jeffrey Simmons. Sacks, 19.5 for Jeffrey Simmons, 16 for Khalil Mack. Interceptions, 4 for Jalen Johnson. Safeties, 0 defensive touchdowns is 1 for Jalen Johnson. So anyways, guys, apart from that, this is still a successful rebuild, even though we only made the playoffs once. That's all we need, man. 1 Super Bowl win, that's all we need. Let's look at the defensive playbook so I remember this for the Ravens. Ravens, base 4-3. So it looks like, yeah, I don't know what was up with that. Justin Fields did suck, though. I will admit that. David Montgomery was amazing. I loved him. Anyways, guys, apart from that, I thank you guys all for watching. Tell me which team you would like me to rebuild next. I think I'm going to do the Jets next. Apart from that, guys, I'll see you guys all in the next one.